Analysis. We're bringing in the host of Batya here on NewsNation, Batya Ungar-Sargon. Batya, always great to see you. Another serious topic for us to start with tonight, this Gracie Mansion incident. It is alarming in so many ways. What was your reaction as this was unfolding? And now that we know this was an IED, this was not a look-alike, this was the real thing that was ignited.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always so great to be here with you on a Sunday. Horrible, terrible, but also, Natasha, so much of the media coverage has been atrocious. The headlines have said, explosive uncovered near Gracie Mansion, which of course makes it sound like the mayor was the target, when actually the explosives were part of a counter protest to the anti-mayor, anti-Islamic protest. So that's very important for people to understand. And in the mayor's tweet, he pointed out, how terrible the anti-Muslim protesters were, led by a white supremacist, but then resorted to the passive tense when he said, of course, it's also terrible that there is violence and these IEDs there. All of which is to say the media and the mayor are trying to give the false impression that the violence, this actual weapon that could have gone off and hurt and maimed and killed, was from the anti-Muslim protesters, when actually it was from the people from the left who showed up to protest against them. So you had free speech on one side and then a weapon on the other side. It's very important to understand that.
We know the FBI is investigating this as a potential act of terrorism. What do you make of these early indicators, and do you see it as so?
You mentioned that they were 18 and 19 years old. These are kids. They should face the fullest extent of the law, but I would urge people not to, get too worked up over this. This doesn't seem like it's part of a more organized, larger effort. I mean, you just look at them there. They look like kids who got very upset about this protest and then resorted to violence, did something criminal, and deserved to face the law. But I just don't think people should get too hysterical about this. To me, this looks like two kids who made a huge mistake and did something terrible and violent. But I don't see the hallmarks of some sort of larger organized terrorist effort here.
I do want to talk about Iran with the time we have, how it's impacting people here at home already. Of course, the increasing gas prices spiking 16% since the start of the conflict, and Americans already starting to feel the economic impact of Operation Epic Fury. We hear President Trump addressing this, saying on Truth Social earlier today, quote, short-term oil prices, which will drop rapidly when the destruction of the Iran nuclear threat is over, is a very small price to pay for USA and world safety and peace. Only fools would think differently. Do you think this changes anything for President Trump, how long that he's willing to stay in this fight?
I would say he's got about 2 to 3 weeks, to be honest. Right now, he's got between 80 and 90% of Republicans and MAGA Republicans support this war effort. But if those gas prices keep ticking up, erasing kind of one of the big accomplishments of the last year, we're going to be getting closer and closer to the midterms. And I don't see people being willing to stay with this long term. If you remember, he won on an anti-war platform. And while I don't see this decapitation of the Iranian regime as the same as our sort of failed adventurism under Bush and Obama, at the same time, he's asking the American people to recognize that distinction. And that involves giving us a time frame in which it will be over, and also, I think, extremely crucially, no boots on the ground. And I know that he doesn't want to commit to that because he doesn't want to tip his hand. He wants the Iranian regime to believe that he's willing to go the distance and to do whatever it takes to take them down, and it's important that they believe that. But domestically, he will start hemorrhaging support, I believe, if he doesn't wrap this up and make it clear that this is a limited operation.
I hear that. And finally, I want to give you some props for calling it like it is, because we see the president pushing Kristi Noem out as DHS secretary. Batya, you were one of the only ones. You came on my show just a few weeks ago. You said, yeah, he needs to fire Noem. What was your reaction when you saw the headlines break this week?
My first thought was, I'm so glad I said that on Natasha's show. No, I think this was a great move. She lied to us about Alex Preddy. She said he was brandishing a gun. That was not true. The whole office was very scandal plagued under her. She bought a private jet, apparently. This $200 million ad buy. She gave the department a bad name at a time when it is very important that the deportation efforts be seen as being above board because the majority of Americans support them. So I was very happy to see him fire her.
Batya Ungar-Sargon, appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. God bless.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.